Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Zed, and today we're gonna have probably a mini rant, like I said in my channel update video. Well actually I don't know if this is gonna be a mini rant. It depends on how detailed I get into this, but if you see the title, you already know what I'm gonna talk about. Fighting games. Fighting games are a niche genre, yes niche, at least in this day and age, where you have characters essentially fighting each other, and that's the whole draw of the genre. Not to be confused with other quote-unquote fighting games where you fight, like for example, beat 'em ups. We all know what happened with the Game Awards. That is not a fighting game. Sifu is not a fighting game, but that's not the point. The point is, I want to talk about fighting games as a whole, and the main issue I feel like a lot of them have that keep the fans not wanting to come back. Now mind you, before you get on my case for trying to advocate for easier fighting games, just let you know I've played a multitude of fighting games across the spans of different years, and I've taken some of them super seriously, some of them not, so I'm not sitting here telling you I can't do command inputs and I want to do mash A for auto combos. I'm not saying to add auto combos. Guilty Gear Strive is, in my personal opinion, the fighting game that has done the best with the formula. And the reason why I say that, and I know there's a bunch of butthurt Xrd fans, but the reality of the situation is Strive is popular because of its simplicity. Anyone can pick it up, but it's hard to master. And this is the exact formula that should be used for fighting games moving forward. Easy to pick up, hard to master. Easy to pick up so everybody can jump in and feel like they at least know what they're doing, and hard to master so that way you can appreciate the high skill ceiling. And those are like the main things that I feel like a lot of fighting games unfortunately don't do. Let's take I don't know, just Street Fighter V for example. The presentation for that game is really good, even though the start of that game was, let's just say, not the best. The presentation is really good, it really feels official. I feel like with Strive, a lot of people don't like the game because of its simplistic nature and the fact that you can't do, ultra long combos, that there isn't extraordinarily high complicated or overly complicated tech, and I feel like that just dilutes the game and makes it boring. I've beaten people in fighting games where I do not know the combos of my characters that well, but I simply beat them in neutral more than they beat me, and I win because they aren't actually really that good at the game. They just are good at the combos. And that's exactly why the presentation that Sakurai was talking about when he said that the bigger the combos get for fighting games, the less room there is for like experimentation. If I know a 90% combo and you fucking touch me once and I go to 90%, you're not better than me. I made one mistake and I almost lost because of it, and you made 3 mistakes, but because I don't know any 90% combos, or maybe my character doesn't have any 90% combos, suddenly I'm the bad player now. You see what I mean? So he was right. That's why I hated when people were getting on Sakurai's ass saying that he was 100% right, and that's why Smash is such a success. Easy to pick up, hard to master. I also play Smash too, so I play everything. I play Multi vs. Smash, Rivals Leader, all the platform fighters, all the traditional fighters. I play it all. So it's not like coming from a guy that's never played them. I've put, hours and hours into all of these different games, and I can tell you right now, playing neutral is far more fun to me than doing, some crazy combo. Because playing neutral is something where both players are even and both players can win if they simply play correctly. And there's always a way to go around, or to jump around, or dodge an attack. And I feel like that's what we're missing from a lot of fighting games, is that especially if a lot of fighting game fans have the notion that if a fighting game is even remotely easy, it is essentially a bad fighting game, which is just not the case. The most popular fighting games are the ones where the emphasis on usually, the game is a bit more simplistic. Even like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where you could say it's just popular because of Dragon Ball Z, the characters also still function very similarly, and the combos still function very similarly. So that's another example of a game being easy to pick up, hard to master. And I don't know why this is such a problem for people. Why does a game have to be hard to pick up, hard to master? Does that, affect you differently? I'm not sure. And you gotta understand, I like difficult challenges. When I first got Guilty Gear Strive, I wasn't even playing it to play it. I was just practicing stuff. When I first got Street Fighter, I was also just practicing stuff. Just practicing combos in Street Fighter 5. And then I think back in the day, I used to play Street Fighter 2 a little bit too. And I would just practice combos over and over again because that's what I enjoyed doing. It wasn't really anything else besides that. And I don't know why it's been such a big issue for people that if the fighting game isn't extraordinarily difficult, then it's somehow not a real fighting game, or it's somehow baby watered down. I'm not advocating for auto combos, but simplistic, notions or motions instead of, really difficult motions on the control stick isn't really that bad of a thing. I mean, look at Project L. It even said there's going to be no, motion inputs. Like I said, I can do motion inputs just fine. Go circle back, double core circle forward, dragon rush motion, all this stuff. I can do that just fine, but it's like, if you're going to take those out and make the game easier, I'm not going to complain. Because guess what? When you remove the errors from putting those motion controls in a game, suddenly the skill comes from neutral gameplay and theory crafting rather than, okay, but can you hit this combo and not mess up the inputs? And while that has its own charm to it, I personally have a lot more fun playing neutral than I do playing a combo simulator. That's just me. That's just my opinion. And I mean, you can look at the charts. Like I said, the most popular fighting games are the ones that are easy to pick up, hard to master. So maybe that's the formula people should be going with from now on. But hey, if you disagree, that's perfectly fine. Tell me why. I like all types of fighting games, but I'm just trying to explain to you why other people and newcomers won't stick with it. Not everybody has the time to dedicate hours and hours of their life to a game. You gotta understand some of these people are working a lot of jobs and stuff like that. And when I was in high school, I was still playing a bunch of fighting games. You gotta understand, some people were in high school and they were not playing these games like that. You know what I mean? They were doing their homework, they're doing college essays, all this other different stuff. So not everybody has the time or wants to put in that time. And you gotta really understand too, although it feels really good, you're not really gonna get anything back from doing that. Me personally, I love the satisfaction of just winning. Winning feels awesome. So of course I like to put in hours and hours just to win. But you gotta understand, some people are crazy like me and won't waste hours of their life just to win at a game. You know what I mean? Some people just want to play a game and have fun, and that's perfectly fine for them too. I personally like to take things a bit more seriously, but I know that there are tons of people on this planet that do not do that, and that's perfectly fine. And I think this is the problem with, like I said, the fighting game community a little bit, is that they feel like as if that's an issue, as if somebody not wanting to spend 10 hours in training mode is an issue. I spend 10 hours in training mode, but if somebody doesn't want to do that, that's perfectly fine, and I feel like that shouldn't be an issue. If you really want fighting games to go back to how they were, about them being the most popular franchise, they were one of the most popular series of all time, and now they've dwindled. If you really want them to go back to that, you gotta make fighting games easy to pick up, hard to master. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that. This is, Zed rant over, man, but oh my god, I don't know, I just feel like I had to say that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this little rant, like I said, I'm making little rant videos here and there, just to sprinkle in some content and really be able to talk. It feels good to just say that, to talk about that, even if it's not directly at somebody. Anyways, this is your boy Zed, and I'm signing out.